Hey guys, Shane here with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Ark 750 series trailer jack. This is going to be an extreme off-road jack, and what makes it different, or what makes it an off-road jack, is the construction of it, the adjustability of it, and the wheels. When you compare it to just a typical trailer jack, a lot of the wheels are just plastic, where these are rubber and they're dual. This jack is designed to work with frame rails that are 3 inches up to 6 inches. The construction of it is going to be a zinc coated, so it's really going to help resist rust and corrosion. It's going to have a 600-hour salt spray rating, and that's great for anybody that lives on the coast, by the ocean. If you've ever had anything that doesn't have a coating on it, any type of metal, it tends to rust pretty fast from all this salt in the air. We're going to have an 1,100 pound max trailer weight. Now that's moving it. So what makes it nice is we can leave the jack on the ground. We don't have to actually lift it up like you do a typical jack. We can leave the wheels on the ground and we can move our trailer around. We can also, let's say it's stuck somewhere. Our trailer is, in a wet spot or muddy spot. We don't actually have to back our vehicle up, hook it up to the tongue of the trailer to get it out. We can use the wheels down on the ground as a set of wheels in the front. We can hook a winch to it, we can hook a strap to it, and we can actually pull our trailer out of that spot up to our vehicle. So that makes it very nice and very, very easy to use. We can also use it to roll our trailer around. Maybe we'll put it in our garage somewhere, and we want to get the tongue over closer to the wall or something that our vehicle we just can't do it with. We can use the wheels and just roll it over very easily over to that wall. As I mentioned, we're going to have dual wheels. They're going to be 8 inch by 2 inches wide. They're going to be steel construction, white powder coat finish. The tires are actually going to be an off-road rubber, so they're going to be very durable. It's going to make it really easy when you're rolling in some rougher terrain, maybe in the grass or even on gravel or through mud or anything like that. So it makes it very nice, very easy to move around. You'll notice these holes here. And these are pin holes so that when the jack is retracted, it's going to slide into that pin, and it allows you to move the wheels and adjust them wherever you need to so that they lock tight and they're not spinning around when you're driving. You'll notice these holes here. This allows us to move our jack. You can kind of use it as a drop jack or a drop leg. Maybe you have your trailer sitting somewhere and it's in a hole. You can use this to drop the leg down. And a lot less cranking you're going to have to do. From the center pivot point here, if we were to move it up to here, it would be 7 5/8 inch. So how you would move that is simply pull this pin. It's a double pin, and you just slide to each location. In our lowest setting here, from the ground, which would be from the wheels to this pivot point, we're at 12 inches. So that's going to be our lowest setting that we can achieve. With our pin setting at the highest mark, from the ground to our pivot point, we're actually going to have 30 inches. So that gives us a total of 18 inches of total adjustability from the lowest point to our highest point. For our adjustable pin mechanism, it's going to be a dual pin. It's going to be spring loaded, which makes it very nice. If we don't have it in a spot, it's automatically going to lock in once it hits the holes. If we come over here to our handle, nice thick durable steel handle, you can see it's going to have a nice grip on it. Makes it very nice and easy to crank your jack up and down. Unlike some of the other jacks, it's just a round plastic handle. We don't have to worry about our hand slipping off of this. Another thing that's nice about this handle is it's magnetic. So when we're done using our jack, we slide this off. We can put it in our glove box so it's ready to go next time. We don't have to worry about when we fold our jack up, the handle spinning around or losing it. If we come to this handle here, this is for rotating our jack up to the frame, folding it up into place. You can see it rotates, so once we get it to where we want, We can fold it out of the way. It's got a nice thick plastic handle. This is also going to be a double pin spring loaded. So we simply pull it out. Rotate our jack up into place. You can fold our handle down there, and then we're ready to go. So as I mentioned before, we're able to use our jack as a third wheel up here in the front. There is going to be a position setting for moving the trailer. And it's going to be marked right here on this inside tube. It's maybe a little bit hard to see, but it is there. It'll say max moving height. There's going to be a mark, so you want to make sure the jack is retracted to that mark. Now, our pin setting can be in any position. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the lowest or the highest. But I'm going to go ahead and give you those measurements. With our pin setting, in the very lowest position at that mark from the ground is going to be 13 inches. At our pin position where it is now, with our jack at that moving mark from the ground, center is going to be 25 inches. So that just gives you an idea of how much adjustability you have with this jack. Now, as I mentioned before, we're going to have an 1,100 pound moving weight capacity. Now that's with the jack retracted down to the mark, being able to move the trailer around or pull it out of a spot. However, with a static load, if the trailer is just sitting up in the garage and not being moved around, it actually will go up to 1,650 pounds. Now that we've gone over some of the features, let's walk you through how to get it installed. Start our installation. When you get your jack, you're going to have to install the wheels. You're going to take out the bolt. On the bolt, it's going to have 4 bearings on it and 3 washers. You're going to take the bearings and you're going to seat them into each side of the wheel. You're going to have a flat washer that goes in here, flat washer that goes in between the 2 wheels, and a flat washer that goes in between this bracket and this bearing. Once you get that on, slide your bolt through. Go ahead and tighten the nut down. Don't over tighten the nut. You want to make sure the wheels spin freely. Then we can get it mounted onto the trailer. You want to make sure that this plate, the holes, are going up and down. We're going to slide a bolt into each one, kind of help level it out a little bit. Go ahead, again using longer bolts, depending on if you're doing nylon lock nuts or not. Then you want to make sure that you're using the holes in the bracket that are closest to the frame rail. Once you get your hardware in, you just want to make sure that your brackets, your bolts going through on each bracket, are as close to the frame rail as possible. So you may have to adjust that bracket up or down and find the correct holes that are going to fit. Once you get all that tightened down, you're ready to go. That's going to do it for a look at in installation on the Ark 750 series trailer jack.